Hello everybody, my name is Ochrisseus, and welcome to another talk about Breath of the Wild, and I will be talking about Mario Kart in this one as well. I don't know which one I'm going to be talking about more. I'm going to try and make this a very quick episode. I'm kind of on a time constraint. It's currently 7:04, and I have to be at the movies at 7:30. Me and my fiance are going to go head out and watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Sorry I missed last week's video. It's the week before finals week, and there was a lot going on, a lot at work, a lot at school. So one thing led to another, and it's Tuesday, and I skipped last Tuesday. Sorry about that. I actually took my psychology final today. I was exempt from my English final, so I didn't have to worry about that. But that's not what y'all came here to hear. Y'all came here to hear about games. There's a new feature I learned about in Breath of the Wild, and I have to talk about the DLC, which is coming up after this. The new feature I learned about is if you're fighting electric Keese or electric Chews, and you use the elemental weapon that they are, if you hit them, their element doesn't affect you. Any elemental. I think I said electric and electric, but any elemental. I was fighting electric Keese, which is when I discovered this, and I had a great thunder blade. And Keese are really annoying because they get right up in your face and you don't have time to pull out your bow, and then they shock you and you drop whatever's in your hands. But if you have a great Thunderblade and you hit them, it doesn't shock you. I haven't tested it out with the others, but since it worked with electric, which is the most annoying of them, I'm assuming it would work with ice as well. Fire is something completely different. Of course, you can hit anything that has fire as long as you back up fast enough, you're not going to get hit. My favorite tactic for fire Chews is hitting them and then doing a backflip. You're out of range. But yeah, so if you're fighting an ice or electric Keese and you don't feel like wasting your arrows, use a blade or a spear, or I think that's all there are, blades and spears of that same element, and you will be perfectly fine. Of course, you have to time it right, because if an electric Keese gets too close and you swing it, you're not going to hit the Keese, and they are going to shock you, and you're going to drop your blade, and then if you're fighting like 3, you'll get hit twice more before you pick your blade up. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But it was a very interesting fact that I learned. The DLC on Breath of the Wild, what is being released in the DLC Pack 1 has been released online, and I've read over that. I don't know when it comes out. I've checked if they've put it out recently. I haven't checked in the past 2 or 3 days, but for a couple days after the specs, or what I'm going to call it, got released, the new content got released, I haven't checked. Hopefully it comes out soon. It did say it was coming out in the summer, and summer's right up, so I bet if I were a betting man, they'd wait for about a week after school ends over here. That way more people would be playing their DLC. Or they might wait for E3 to drop it. But what you will be getting is you'll get a new hard mode. And in that hard mode, every enemy is bumped up a level. I am assuming, though it hasn't been confirmed or denied, Silver, which is the current strongest, will then be bumped up to Gold. Which will be cool because the Colosseum's already maxed out for me at Silver. And I'm really kind of tired of farming electric weapons or fire weapons or ice weapons. It's kind of cool, but also that Silver Lionel with a flame sword is a pain, and I'm really glad he doesn't have an ice or electric sword. Speaking of Lionels, I recently got a Savage and Lionel Mauler, I think is what it was called. It's a 2-handed club. It's glorious with 74 attack points. Beautiful. I recently ran into something new, and I've been playing the game for over 120 or 30 hours now, and that is a Hinox Stelifos. I was very confused when I saw it because there were a bunch of trees everywhere, and I just saw like this giant skeleton, and then I went around the trees, and there he is, a giant skeleton Hinox. And just as you would think, when he gets close to death, he doesn't fall apart like the others will, but his eye will pop out, and you can pick up his eye. It's not as easy as carrying around one of the other Stephalos' heads, because if you carry it for a little bit, it'll pop out and start rolling to him, so you have to be really careful. I was going to throw it into a river, because that's my favorite way to kill Stephalos. And right before I got to the edge of the river, it popped out, and before I was able to turn and grab it, he had it in his eye. I was able to kill him shortly afterwards. You can do a couple more hits on him, and he's dead. His eye might pop out like twice, but them's the breaks. I'll kill the next one I find. I now know where they spawn. I don't know if they have set spawning patterns, but if they do, I know where they are. Also, the luminous gear that you can get in Gerudo Town from the secret club, that if you wear it at night and skeletons come up, they won't attack you. I was confused because I put on my gear, but they had already seen me, just like with the Bubbikins. If they see you, they're going to attack you. But if you wear the gear before they see you, they'll think you're one of them until you pull out a weapon, and then they attack you. But back to the DLC, you'll be getting a new hard mode. Some enemies will be in the air on, I'm assuming, floating platforms, and they said there'll be treasure up there. So what I have envisioned in my head is an enemy with, like, on a cardboard or rock plank with octo balloons on each corner to hold it up. So they did say in the description to look up, and you might see some enemies and treasure, which will be really cool. There is going to be the new Master Sword quest. I assume you have to have the Master Sword to do it, which is going to make me sad, because if by the time they drop it, I don't have my green tunic, I'm going to be missing out. I do have 81 shrines, I think, right now, so I'm not far away from getting it. But the Master Sword quest is, I believe they said it's going to be 48 floors, 48 or 42 floors. You start out with no weapons, and they send waves of enemies. Each enemy comes from a room. I'm guessing you kill your couple enemies, probably with bombs, and you pick up whatever weapons they have, and then so on and so forth. And if you beat this, your Master Sword is unlocked in its full potential, which is my guess. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. I haven't looked up too much on it. Is it will be in its undrained state forever. Because if you don't know, the Master Sword does drain after a while, and I think it gets weaker. And it also loses the ability to shoot lasers, because you can shoot lasers with it when you hit the throw button. Since you can't throw it, it'll shoot lasers. From what I understand, it'll be in that undrained form forever after you beat this trial, or at least a lot longer. Hopefully forever. That'd be really cool. It will also be unlocking several new outfits. You can get Midna's mask from Twilight Princess. You can get Majora's mask, and yes, I'm going to be looking everywhere for that. You can get Tingle suit. I don't know why you would want Tingle suit. It's a little weird, but I guess there are some Tingle fans out there. He's a weird little chubby guy with the swirly things on his cheeks that likes to call you the fairy boy and pretend to be your friend, and even though he's really, really creepy. But you can also get I don't know if it's the full outfit, but I know you can at least get a knight's helm. What are they called? I want to call them Knuckle Knights, but I know that's not their name. The big knights in, like, Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, those guys, you can get their helmets. I don't know if you can get the rest of their gear, but I know at least you can get their helmet. And for y'all speed running trying to find all the Koroks, y'all might want to slow down a bit. Yeah, it'd be cool. But when this new update comes out, you'll have the opportunity to find a Korok mask that vibrates and shakes whenever you're near a Korok. So it can make locating the Koroks a lot easier. Unless you want to go the challenging route, as you can tell by me not wanting to pull the Master Sword until my green tunic. I like challenges, but I think I'm going to make use of that Korok mask, because 900 of those little guys, and I got like 100 and maybe 70, maybe. I've got a lot, but nowhere near 900. So I'll be looking out for that mask, and you also will be getting I don't remember what it's exactly called, but it's a transport talisman. And what it is it's a talisman that's inside of a chest. I don't know where the chest is going to be. And you will be able to use it to make one location in the game, any location you want, into a warp zone. So if there's somewhere you go often, or that's really hard to get to, and you don't feel like if it's the top of a mountain and you don't feel like climbing to the top of that mountain every time, you can make the transport spot the tip of that mountain. Or if you know where there's a really good weapon that spawns, you can put it there. Or if you want to get in and out of Ganon's castle without being harassed by the Guardians, you can make a transport spot there. Either way, it's going to be really cool. I have no idea where I'm going to put my transport beacon, talisman, whatever. And you can only use it once. It's a one-time thing from what I've read. I did recently upgrade my hero's tunic, the one that Impa gives you, all the way up. I was right. You do need two horns from each dragon. The last dragon I needed was Dinral's, and he is, even though I'm not the biggest fan of fire, I like ice a lot more than I like fire. Dinral is the most majestic of the dragons because his horns, they're the curly horns, and they're like a red-black, and he's just beautiful. Now, Naru's dragon is awesome, and Frosh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, he's awesome, but Dinral's got my respect on the horns. I learned a couple things when getting his, because what should have taken me 3, because I needed a scale to get into the Shrine of Power and then 2 horns to upgrade it, I had to but harvest him 4 times. The first time I thought I shot his horn, I didn't even look, I just ran, grabbed, exited out of it, I shot his scale. The second time, I was going for his scale, because why not? And then the third time I hit his horn, thinking it'd be my last horn grab, and when I went to it, it had question marks on it, and dread just instantly went to my body, and I knew what had happened. So I grabbed it, checked, yep, had 2 scales and 1 horn, so I had to fight him again. So that's 3 times. I actually had to fight him 5 times, not 4 times. Went at him again, went right up into his face. His face was here, Link was here. Well, actually, his face was here, and Link was here, if I'm doing it in the actual way that it was. And I was flying, shot at his face. Turns out they can drop a third item. You can get their fangs. I don't know what they're used for. If anyone knows, pop that in the comments below. I'm actually really curious. But you can get their fangs if you shoot them in the mouth. So I got a fang, which was really cool and also really annoying because I had to wait again. But a couple things about Dinral. I don't know if it's true of all the dragons, but I know it's true of him. If you collect 1 item from him, he will make a circuit back around. So you can collect a second item from him. If it's before 8 o'clock. If it's after 8 o'clock, you're going to have to wait. He shows up in the morning around 6 o'clock. So if you know where the Shadow Forest area is, there's a peak right outside of there that's overlooking the edge of the game. Go on to that peak. There should be 3 wolves on it. Make a campfire. Kill the wolves, I guess. I didn't because I hate killing wolves. But make a campfire on it. Sleep until morning. Stand on that peak. You'll be waiting about 30 seconds before Dinral comes through. You take what you need from him. As soon as you climb back up that peak, he's coming through again. Now, it doesn't work a third time, and if you get stuck on the Stephalos, that'll be popping up, and there'll be moblins. Moblins? I don't know. I don't know what their actual name is. But the Moblin Stephalos, they'll be popping up, and if you feel like fighting them, cool. If not, cool. But I did get distracted by fighting them and missed my turn once. But yeah, you pop up in the morning. There he is. You can harvest from him twice. He'll fly away, sleep till morning again, harvest twice. I had to do this 3 times because I had to go 5 times, which, there you go. 2, 2, 1. But yeah, so I'm going to be keeping my eye out for what you use the Fang for. Everything I mentioned on the DLC pack, I think that's all that they're releasing. If they're releasing anything else new, either I forgot about it or I didn't read about it. I thought I read everything. If I didn't, my bad. Mention it down in the comments below, and I'll take a look at it because I'm really excited about this DLC pack, especially because of the hard mode. Oh, also hard mode. I did forget to mention your enemies will be regenerating health slowly as you fight, which means silver and most likely gold, if that's what the color they're going with, Lynels are going to be a pain in the neck and may not be worth fighting if they do regenerate health over time, because it takes, at least me, because I don't like to, there's a method where you can like use bomb arrows to keep getting it draft up and then just hit them with bomb arrows. I'm not that guy. If I fight something, I'm going to fight it fair and square. Except I don't know if I mentioned it on the Eventide Island, how I beat the Hinox is I picked up the metal boxes and slapped him in the head with it. If you use the 2 boxes on top of the cliff and then one of the boxes is down where the Bulbakins are, he's dead. is a little bit of a cheat, but really, really, a black Hinox when you have nothing better than, I think, a traveler's blade and a soldier's shield and a handful of arrows. No. No way. No Nintendo. Bad. But I gotta go. It is now 7:19. It's gonna be a 14-minute long episode, which might be nice for y'all, and I might try to keep them around 15 minutes is what it's gonna turn into now. But I'll report back to you on the games. I didn't get to talk much about Mario Kart here, so I might make another separate episode tonight about Mario Kart or tomorrow after work. But either way, y'all have a good night, and see ya.